everyone, I am Chhatraprabha from Leo Club of University of Colombo. Welcome to the fourth episode of Detect and Correct, which is the initiative taken by Leo Club of University of Colombo to discuss crucial and debatable topics in the present context. As you all know by now, we are linking two platforms, YouTube and our official newsletter, which is in written form, to make this discussion easily accessible for you. Today, we are going to talk about distance learning. To talk in depth about this subject matter, we are collaborating with Mr. Pasindu Marasinghe, Assistant Lecturer, University of Colombo School of Computing. Sir, we warmly welcome you to Detect and Correct.
Okay, thank you for inviting me for this session. I'm really excited to follow up with this discussion.
So in order to start the discussion, sir, I invite you to give a brief introduction of yourself.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank Leo Club of University of Colombo for doing these kind of sessions to increase the awareness of people on these crucial subjects. And as an introduction of myself, I was a computer science undergraduate until March of 2020. And recently I've been started working as a assistant lecturer in the UCC itself.
Thank you, sir. So let us start the discussion stating the reasons for the increase in acceptance of distance learning. Especially with this COVID-19 pandemic situation, we observe that many people, including Sri Lankans, suddenly embrace the concept of distance learning. What are the reasons for this increase in acceptance of distance education system all over the world?
Yeah, mainly if we consider this distance learning concept, that was there in even before this pandemic situations, like Coursera, like other platforms were there to students to learn things in a distance learning manner. But due to this pandemic situation, people were really not able to practice physical face-to-face learning. So due to the social distancing, so people tend to move into some other techniques and other approaches to this as well. So actually, if we consider like what choices we have, like when there is a pandemic going on and we have to practice social distancing, so we can't hold the whole education system and say like we will stop here and we'll wait until this COVID goes away and then let's start our education. So that is not possible. So since of that matter, like we are trying to somehow survive in this pandemic and try to provide education for the needy.
Yes, sir. So there are many trends of distance learning. So mostly in this prevailing scenario. So are we as a developing nation ready for such sudden changes that will happen in our traditional education structure? Because you are an expert in the field. So as an expert in the IT sector, what do you feel about the current high trends of distance learning?
Yeah, if I give like one word answer to that, as a developing nation, we are not really there. So answer is no, actually we are not ready yet. Because there are so many issues in this distance learning platform, because people should have connectivity, people should have access to internet, and people should have IT literacy, both students and teachers. And there are things like people should have devices, right? So in order for us to do this interview in this manner, we should have devices. But if we consider a family with 3 children, that is not really there. Some families might have devices and some families don't. So as a developing nation, if we consider the majority of Sri Lankan people, we are not really there. Like we don't have IT literacy, but the thing is, we can't do it like that uh, by holding our whole education system. So somehow we are trying to fix these issues and like face them and trying to find fixes in order to go ahead.
Yes, so that means we have to like give our most effort to cope with the current situation and all. So when move on,
Yeah.
when it comes to this topic, distance learning, there might be several disadvantages and constraints as well. Sometimes they are inherent to the system. So, what are those exact issues, and how can Sri Lanka tackle such issues and constraints to create a smooth experience for the beneficiaries of distance learning?
Yeah, if we consider that problem, like first we have to think about the very first thing, what do we expect from our education system? Just is only passing out some information we have gathered in the other generation, or is it something a more wider topic where we try to like improve students' attitudes, discipline, and mindset, and personality and communication skills. Likewise, I think it is a wide topic we have to talk about. But by these distance learning concepts, there are some things that we can pass over to the next generation. Like if we are talking about some specific subject topic, if we don't have to do have some practical knowledge or practical experience on that part, they can really easily provide it to the next generation using distance learning, because it will be easy for them because they don't have to think about transportation, and it will save their time and money for getting into one place, and it will be like comfortable for the student who's learning, and there are things like that. And the other thing is we have to think about it in levels, like if we consider like nursery education, do we really can give them the skills or knowledge they need using distance learning? I think it will be really hard. Like if we come into some secondary and finally to postgraduate graduate studies, I think they are somewhat we easily we can use distance learning methods there.
Yes. So it differs with the audience that you are addressing, whether it will be students like higher educational or secondary and primary.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if I elaborate, one of the main complaints lodged against online learning, that is technical issues that students face. I think we need a national level collaboration with government officials, academics, professionals, and even with private organizations to provide a more sustainable solution. So, sir, do you agree with this statement? And actually, how can we address this problem in a more effective manner?
Yeah, we can totally agree to that statement because we are talking about the next generation of our country, right? So we can't just say that is just a responsibility of the government itself. So even if we take ourselves as an individuals, we should be also responsible for the next generation of our country. So for that, like the first, there are like I said, there are several levels of issues. Like the first thing is hardware. Like people don't, some families might not have devices to connect into these distance learning platform. Then the second level is connectivity. Like even with the recent social media post, we were seeing that students are coming out to roads in order to get connectivity to internet. So then even though they have devices, there can be some cases people don't have connectivity. Uh, some people think that this connectivity problem only occurs in these distance or rural areas, but that's not the case. Like even inside these Colombo district and Western province, we can find many houses where we can't find 4G connectivity, a good 4G connection. So and the other level is even though a family can have both of these things like hardware and the connectivity, will a family will be able to like be ready to like embrace that cost comes with these distance learning, because we are talking about video streamings and screen sharing and other platforms. They'll come with some cost. So we have to think about all these cases, and I think government and DRC should be able to help people in need, like introducing new internet packages where students can get low priced access to internet. Likewise, it will be a like nationwide wide mission to give this into the next generation of the country.
So it's not just a problem that we can solve alone. It's not just a problem that someone else can solve alone. So it's something that all together have to make it our way. So finally, when it's come to this online learning, and many people have different insights, and there are many debates, discussions on online learning and also the impact of it. So do you approve online learning as the future of our education system in Sri Lanka? And also, how does this distance learning affect our Sri Lankan economy as a whole? Because it will be a big topic in this present context as well.
Yeah, basically, if we consider like if we are planning to do our whole education using distance learning system, I think it is not feasible here. Like I said before, we should think about the things we can deliver using distance learning mechanisms and things we should deliver in person. Like if we are, our courses are like arranged in a way where we try to shape up people's attitudes, mindsets, and their routines, and all these are all connected with our education system. So things like that should be shaped up mostly in person. But there are some content like some lecture content which have only theoretical values or something. So we can actually give them in a distance learning technique or a platform. So by doing that, what I suggest is we can go for we can use our resources in our education system, like in schools, and basically like we are taking a somewhat given number of students inside to the university. Like even if you pass A levels, you can't get to a university. So by using these distance learning techniques, we can increase that number, like providing those content that can be delivered using distance learning, and we can focus more on the other things where we actually need in-person teachings and in-person education system. So by using so for your statement, like is distance learning will be the future of Sri Lankan education, I think that we should say in a way like distance learning and in-person learning both together blended solution would be the future of the Sri Lankan education system. So then for the second question you asked, how would it affect to Sri Lankan economy? Like if we go for these distance learning platforms, actually we have a prerequisite from students that they should have some kind of a IT literacy, right? So if they have some kind of IT literacy, and we are using IT to our education as well, so people have some IT literacy, so it will be beneficial for the whole country, because we are making up and building undergraduates, so they will have IT literacy up to some level, so we can use them in our country, and not for these type of tiring things. For that we can automate most of the things, and we can put them into those places. And since in Sri Lanka, I think the most valuable resource we have is human resource, because the most of the software we are developing in here, even if we don't use it in here, like there are systems we have developed, there are many solutions for like political systems, economical systems, everything is developed in here in this country with our brains, which we shape up in our education. But the thing is, as in Sri Lanka, we don't use it. Like in Sri Lanka, if we consider some government agency or somewhere or authority, when we go there to get some work done, it is mostly manual. So by using these distance learning platforms and shaping up our education system into something in a blended way, we use both of these systems, would result in a better economy for the country, because people will be more aware about IT, and people will use IT in their day-to-day activities.
So what I get is, we should not give up on one method to go to the other. It's like we should embrace the good of both systems and make it a mix, and go further even in the future. So therefore we can have this good impact even for our economy. So with that, we come to the conclusion of our today's discussion on distance learning. So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to conduct this important and valuable discussion despite your busy schedules. Once again, thank you very much for your time, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to this discussion as well. Like even me, I served as a Leo in my 2016 in Leo District A2. So you guys are doing a good job. Good luck to you all.
Thank you very much, sir. And it's a great pleasure to hear that you also were a Leo. So with that, we hope that you have gained a good knowledge about distance learning, its impact, and as well as the methods that we can adopt to utilize online learning more effectively. So, till we meet with another interesting discussion of Detect and Correct, stay safe and goodbye.